Look, social network is still the best way to meet people, to vet people, to understand people. I don't care how all this technology, the internet, and all this other stuff, if you're not meeting people organically in the real world through social network, you're failing. Because here's why. You don't know who the hell you're dealing with on the internet. You don't know who you're meeting. Even if guys that try to do pickup and whatever else, look, I'm not knocking that. But you don't know if this chick got some heavy meds and she's a complete absolute whack job. And there's some dudes that get in a relationship with women and don't even know that she's crazy as a bag of dust. So this is something that a lot of these content creators are not really talking about. And I put it in some of the videos. It's really examining the effects of sexual liberation and also social media on the mental health of many individuals, men and women, but we see it more, pronounced with women because we live in a gynocracy, and a lot of the things, let me roll this up, a lot of the things in this society is designed really to pander and cater to women, and therefore many of them become stuck. We saw the B. Simone situation. We saw all these different things happening. So it really becomes an issue of arrested development. And then, imagine a world where everybody tells you how outstanding and how wonderful you are, and the whole system is designed to cater to you and pander to you. And the old guard of the old folks that used to basically dig into us and hold us accountable, even they have been silent. Because even when they come out and they speak out against things, the powers that be and systematically try to shut them up. We saw that with Felicia Rashad. We saw about other people who tried to speak up and stand on principle or whatever else. Systematically, through the culture, they're attacked, called all kinds of names and ridiculed. So this sends the message out there that anybody that speaks, that stands on principle or any values will automatically be attacked or destroyed in one way or another, or shamed publicly for having any values. Because obviously there's we can make all kinds of arguments about how they want certain individuals or people programmed for self-destruction, or programmed for a way that they could control, manipulate, and exploit for whatever political gains or financial gains. We can make that argument, but still, you have to be able to move socially to really get an understanding. Because here's the difference, okay? When you meet people through dating, just regular dating, all you're going to see is their representative. Especially with right now how the world is so spread out with social media and everything else. You didn't grow up around them. You don't know their cousins, their family members, their relatives. And that's the problem with, obviously the way the world is. Because, we go back in the day, people used to meet people from their church, their jobs, community, social events. You know their history. You know who the town 304 was. We know who's ran through. We know, and women, you know who the crazy dudes was. You heard about the dude down the street, he beats women, or he's a degenerate, or he's a drunk or a drug addict, or he's a cheat, or he's whatever else. You knew these things about people because you knew their family. You knew the people in the community. Or you seen them through social circles and you understood their background. And now you have to be extremely cautious with the vetting process because we live in a disconnected society and disconnected world. And even some people have become even socially challenged because of the way the world is disconnected the way it is. So we have to get back to the roots of engaging people socially, and where you see there, not from just the dating relationship perspective, but just to see how, just to understand, you understand people when they're in their natural state, when they're behaving normally. They'll tell you things about themselves. They'll show you things about themselves that will take months maybe to identify in a dating relationship phase, but you can just see because they're going to talk freely in front of their friends or social groups or whatever else. And just even recommendations and meeting people through other people where they can tell you, hey, look, that dude is a solid dude. he does this, he does this, and this. I knew the dude for like 10, 15, 20 years. Or that woman is a solid woman. I've known her for 10, 15, 20 years. And that's what people have to get back to, because the internet is a complete failure when it comes to networking and meeting people and understanding who you're dealing with. And I saw a video back, and it was talking about, from a male perspective, how you got to check these women's medicine cabinet. You go over to her house and you meet her and say like, okay, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Maybe you open her medicine cabinet and take some pictures of the medication that are in there. I'm not talking about if she's having any real medical problem. You might find some medication in there for STDs and mental health problems and whatever else, and you need to haul ass and get lost. I don't give a damn how good she looks or whatever. Look at the crazy things that Zion Williams is into with that 304. First of all, that's some crazy ass simp behavior. It's disturbing on all levels. Dudes are just ridiculously, goofy in terms of taking that type of risk. Again, you don't have a village of men really trying to advise these young bucks to really chill the hell out and understand. Especially when you have branding and money on the table. And I guess that's all they're surrounded with anyhow. So, you come in an environment, you are who you are. Those 304s have worked their way to the front of the line. That's just the way it is. Even being an athlete myself, they work their way to the front of the line. Brittany Renner, women like that, they work their way hard to the front of the line, call in favors, do some things on the side to get to the front of the line, to get access to these guys. And, it happens. It's just a way. They're predatory, pretty much. But anyhow, moving on from there. You got to see, one of the things I talk about, and a lot of times, maybe in some of my live streams, is when you go to a place, especially these guys that are passport bros and whatever else, the failure for them is they go to a place and the first thing is women, as opposed to going to a place and establishing networking, going to the gym, meeting people, seeing who's in the community, getting into their passions and hobbies, and organically meet women. There's enough women around those environments to give you a quick tune-up so you can get back on your purpose. Focus on networking, social networking, meeting people in the culture, determining who's a credible person, who's who in the community. Do you have a hobby? What are you into? Are you into sports? Are you into cycling? Are you into finances? Are you into outreach and whatever, philanthropy, whatever you're doing? There's something in that community that you can do where you can organically meet people, and people, if they see you're a decent person, that will introduce you to other people that are good, decent people. But if you go somewhere and the first thing on your mind is boxing, girls, and what, you see me travel all over the place. Well, a few places, but I don't put no damn women in my video. I don't know who the hell these women are. I put them in my video for. They ain't earned the right to be in my video. Why would I present you some women in my video that I just met? I don't know who the hell they are. So what? For some thirst subscribers? Man, if you come to me with some shit like that, I'll send you straight to my man to get some therapy. If achieving box is your only goal as a man, you failed in life. I'll send you to get some therapy. Because you're going to end up getting cooked out here with these 304s. Especially, I've been to places like Pattaya and all these other places. Them bar girls will cook you alive. You ain't built for that life. Don't go down there if you're a simp or you got some insecurity or some mental health issues. Go see a damn therapist, because them women will cook you alive. They see a sucker every day coming off that plane. I've been to those places and there ain't nothing special about me. I've had no issues with those women. I already know it. You know the game. Unless you just halfway illiterate or ignorant, or you have some type of mental challenges, you know the game. Come on. So you can't go to any environment from a perspective of low self-esteem. You're going to get cooked, period. It's like serving meat to the wolves. So that's why I focus so much on this channel and talk about men's mental health and men's self-development. And showing the women it's easy to go get a bunch of 304s and start a podcast and all this other stuff. That's not a challenge for me. But then we end up back in the same situation. What is your life is centered and focused around box. But what a life of failure if that's all you focus your life around, is achieving some box. And that's why I look at some of these content creators, especially in these red pill spaces, and that, like, come on, man, give me a break. So we talk about total development of you as a human being, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, those things that are superior and those things that are long lasting and that stand the test of time. Because if you don't fix the mental aspect of your life, you'll end up in the same situations that you were in before, making poor decisions, overvaluing women, prioritizing your life around box, seeing a woman as your achievement as a man, as opposed to your own purpose and goals and ambitions, and not seeing yourself as a value as a man. What is your life without women? So that women can only be an addition to what you are as a man. And then you can travel anywhere in this world and be good. Because what they're offering doesn't have any power over your life. You can always say, hey, look, this ain't where it's at. You have a nice day, young lady. And you keep it moving. Because that's not, that doesn't complete your life. That's just an addition to your life. It's just something that you enjoy. But anyhow, social is still the best. I don't care what anybody say. I talk to everyone. You see me in walking in the park. I say good morning to people. I speak to women, men, everybody, because that's just the way I am, and it's just what it is. I can speak to a woman and have no objective about trying to get her number or her box. I'm just talking to her. It's just social. I can see anything we can learn things about people. And that's what I really want guys to really is understand. Like, you don't have to be an objective, just be social. You find things about people when there's not an agenda behind it, and you're just talking to them. I'll tell you everything you need to know. But anyhow, I'm about to go hit this gym real quick. Peace and blessings to you guys. We'll talk soon. I'm out.